toy spot, we're going to be having a look at the variant black costumed Wolverine from Marvel Legends Red Hulk Build-A-Series. I had already done the Red Hulk series figures, including the yellow Wolverine, the yellow costume Wolverine. I actually didn't forget about this guy, but I guess I actually did forget about this guy because I was going to do him right after I'd done the other figures, but then I ended up doing something else. I don't know what it was. And I basically, somehow this guy got omitted, so I figured I'd go back, do a review of him, and I also would do a comparison so you guys can see the difference between the two. Before I do the comparison and before we look at the figure, let's get a look at the packaging here. We get a nice Marvel Legends up at the top right hand corner with a pretty decent Wolverine up at the top left corner. And we have different pictures of Wolverine down the side here. Only at Target. Now, if you're Canadian like me, only at Target basically means find it on eBay. Find it on eBay. So on the back of the packaging, we have a picture of Wolverine up the top right. I mean, clearly they've just used the yellow costume Wolverine card. They haven't, decided to put the black costume up there. And then the other figures in the wave are Spiral. We have Union Jack, black costume Spider-Man. We have Adam Warlock, we have Wolverine, and we also have Silver Savage. And then all, 6 figures we'll put together and build the very cool Red Hulk, which I've also done a review of. I really like the look of the Red Hulk, and actually now the more I look at that Hulk, and I look at the DC, ooh, that's blasphemy. Now that I look at this Red Hulk versus the Marvel Select Red Hulk, I'm starting to actually like this Red Hulk. I liked this Red Hulk more before, but I think I'm liking him even more now than the Red Hulk from Marvel Select. The Red Hulk from Marvel Select, although he is large, he's a little too realistic for me. I like the comic book look of Red Hulk much better. So there you have packaging on black costume variant of Wolverine. If we get this guy opened up, we will get a closer look at the Wolverine figure. So stay tuned. Before we actually look at Wolverine, we'll look at the one accessory he comes with. Wolverine would come with the one arm of Red Hulk. Very interesting. Really not interesting. I mean, it's only an arm, but he does come with that. And if we have a look at the figure here, I was going to do something witty. I was trying to do something really funny when I got to the figure end of it. I couldn't think of anything, so let's just get right to the figure. I do like the black and the yellow, and if you know me, I'm not a huge fan of repaints. In fact, half the time I don't buy repaints. The only time I do is if they're actually in the comics or the cartoon or whatever that repaint would be in. And because this Wolverine is actually in the comics, was it X-Force that this Wolverine is in this costume? Because it is actually a true costume of Wolverine, I was happy to pick up the repaint here. You'll see that there's nothing really different with the figure from the initial yellow costume Wolverine. In fact, what I'll do is I'll move this guy over and I'll bring in the yellow costume Wolverine so you guys can actually see the difference between the two. Like I said, I mean, it's the exact same mold. There's nothing different with the figures at all. Exactly the same. One thing I did actually realize after I did a review of the yellow costume Wolverine, and I think somebody actually pointed it out to me, and I'm a little slow sometimes, so I didn't quite see it right away, but it kind of sucks that his shoulder pads aren't further out on this Wolverine. And then obviously, I mean, if you read the comics and you know the other Wolverine figures, these shoulder pads should be a little further out. They shouldn't be as far up on his neck as they are. But I didn't realize that until after I'd done the review of him. One funny thing is, I find the character, obviously they've swapped in the black for like the yellow and the black on this Wolverine. They've also put the red eyes in, which I think is interesting. He's not really evil Wolverine, so I'm surprised that he has red eyes, but anyways. One thing I found funny though, and it's interesting, it seems the moment Wolverine goes for a black costume, somehow his skin changes color too, because as you can see, there's a big difference in the color of his skin. I almost actually prefer the skin tone on the black Wolverine versus the yellow. I find the yellow is just a little too pink. The skin tone's a little too pink. Would have been nice if maybe they had put this skin color on this Wolverine. But that's not a big deal. But so there, I mean, there you have a comparison on the two, just so in case somebody asked, you know, can you show both of them? So there you go. I'll move the yellow costume Wolverine out of the way because he's got to go fight. I think he's got to go fight crime or something. And then if we have a look at this Wolverine, same articulation as the other Wolverine. So there is the articulation in the head, a ball joint in the head. There is the ball joint swivel in the shoulder area, as well as rotation in the shoulder. There's rotation in the bicep. There is a joint in the elbow. His wrist also will rotate. And his hand will open up. And as I mentioned with the Wolverine, the yellow costume Wolverine, I'm not sure why they really need to open his hand like that. I mean, unless Wolverine's holding a beverage, maybe if he's thirsty, just doesn't make much sense to me that they would need to open his hand like that. He has articulation in the torso, in his waist, in his legs, his thigh, 2 points in the knee, his foot, and also his toe. So the exact same as the other Wolverine. There's nothing different about it. But do I like this character? Yes, I do. Will I have him probably on display? It's very likely. But I definitely like this repaint. And had he not been in the comics, I probably might not have picked him up. I probably just would have said, just another repaint. But the fact that he actually is in the comics, and I'm pretty sure it is an X-Force. If it isn't, please correct me. But I'm definitely happy to have picked this guy up. There you have a toy spot on the repaint black costume Wolverine from the Red Hulk Build-A-Series. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah!